Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland, your only sanctioned source of companies to entertainment, and soon to be companies to entertainment. Off here to a match on Mill Road in the north of this. Leon Scott Kennedy will just be referring to him at LSK, fighting here for America, freedom, democracy. He is striking forwards with the 3rd Armored Division, with heavy cavalry featuring rifle defensive structures of mass smoke barrages, ranges, combined arms, and the M26. In the south, it is Stuve fighting here with the Oberkommandowist Germany, Deutschland, here with elite armor. Forming up with the 2nd Panzerdivision here with 2-1s, emergency repairs, Panzer Commander, heat shields, and Sturm Tigers. Elite armor really sort of been catching on more and more in the Oberkommandowist meta game as of late. I feel like with some players, I think partly again it's just that early armored can really help set some of the Oberkommandos otherwise, early issues, but also like heat shells, emergency repairs, and the Panzer Commander, just all very nice upgrades. So it's sort of been, catching on a fair deal here with the Oberkommandos. Also, I imagine just because some Oberkommandos players just, they're looking for other things to do than just, churn out near infinite numbers of full grenadiers, and rushing out a 2-2-1 certainly feels a bit a different direction. So, meanwhile here with 2 riflemen, heavy cavalry. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters who support the Propagandacast and keep it going. Big thanks to all those. Other people can join thanks for our Patreon. Links in the description. So, north of us moving forward, sandbags here from LSK. In the center as well, thumbs up to that. Barbed wire here in the south, plus tank traps. And 3rd Rifle Squad there for LSK. Not one of those fast techers. There we see with some American players. Truck being hold forward here, the Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper. And then go 2-1, like the Punches B-Wagen on the way. Part of a German division's reconnaissance regiment. On the Panzer Division's armored reconnaissance regiment, really. Armored cars were typically organized into patrols of 2, and then I think 3 patrols made up a platoon. Fun fact. Anyways, truck here being used to push around the infantry. Something some cheeky Oberkommandos players do as of late. Again, they sort of used to do it a lot in the time when the trucks were free, and they could also do some other nasty stuff. But it's sort of, once you had to start paying for the trucks after you lost them, people, strange enough, stopped doing that. But yeah, some players seemingly realizing, hang on, this is still good, I just need to be a bit careful. So 2-1 out, if you get a right push with the car pond here, armored car racing in there. If you're fighting around here, I think there's a good chance too. We need to be careful with this truck here against LSK here. Armored car on the raft squad here on the calf point here up north here. Troops making progress here. Folks in the south being 0-1, but there you go. The truck is just charging in there, making a massive LSK's formation. His men running to the sides here, as of course their mothers always taught them to always get out of the way of an oncoming truck. Raft squad there, push back with the 2-1. Mostly for the sake of insurance. 3rd full squad, North of Stuva. This one's popping out there. Armored car rushing in there like a Punches B-Wagen. Armored cars, the riflemen shooting at them. Truck just continue pushing around. Again, it makes it harder for the infantry. You can notice it's like get up a clear line of shot fire than the infantry or truck or anything there near them. So again, it's why some players again like Stuve like to do it. Armored car there falling back. The 2-1, 2-2, and 2-3 rule again. Just this chassis here was eventually retired from frontline service. Of course, the ones that had would still be used, but they stopped producing them. Instead, focusing on using an armored car based off the 250 half-track, the 250-9. In fact, they eventually stopped making 250 half-tracks to just focus on the 259. Fun fact. South here follows the Rifle Squad here. Another attempt at sandbags, but this time LSK stopped once more by Stuve and his hardened full grenadier. In the center, bit of skirmish here. Lieutenant out there for LSK, freedom and democracy. Fresh push up north here. M20 for LSK, the utility car there. Bit of skirmish in the south. Folks are falling back here. North here, Lieutenant moving about. And there you go, battle headquarters up for Stuve. We got the armored car rushing in, and we got a 4th Volker squad here for Stuve. Armored car, though, meanwhile, charging in there, close to Veteran 1 already. Riding it with some nice handy abilities there versus the armored cannon. There you go. Anti-tank rifle is ready, but still, it does cost LSK here a rifle squad. So that is a really good kill here for Stuva, and there go force retreat as well, and the damage can be quickly fixed up. So that ended up being fairly expensive there for LSK. Great kill for Stuva, and the German army 2nd Panzer Division is hitting hard, but now we do have the M20 utility card here for LSK. They were generally used alongside jeeps to support the tank destroyers, basically acting as scouts for them ahead of time there. So little fun fact on that one. Ralph Squad coming in, are going to catch that 2-1 here, not fully repaired obviously. Sturm Pioneer should also make it harder here for LSK to make a straight charge at the 2-1, though of course the M20 does pose a slightly bigger issue for Stuve, in particular since it doesn't have any Pantherfausts yet. He's sending an upgrading here, so we won't be getting the Pantherfaust anytime soon either. He is going for the Panzerschreck, the Raketen Panzerbüchse. There we go, upgrade on the way there for Stuve. M20 charging in there. 2-1 then being hauled out of there. North, you can see the LSK though sneaking past here. Any theoretical existing sentries up north, but they of course none. Instead, it goes straight for the fuel point, ignoring any of the surrounding points. Because LSK of course is aware, I mean, sure you could grab the other points, but you know, as a opponent, a lot of fuel from the fuel point. That's going to be great. Blind Hunter got off there. 2-1, they're fixed up, more or less. Panzerschreck also ready here. One from direct support the M20, racing westwards, bit of barbed wire there. But LSK ultimately was not able to render Stuve's fuel point there neutral. So what will LSK go for next? Will be a straight to Stuart next here. Will it be a 50 cal? Both are very much viable options here for LSK versus Stuve. 2-1, they're being upgraded to the 223. Here the command version. Up north we've got the Rafscore pushing forward, they're being upgraded with the Sturmgewehr 44. Ladies and service the 223, push back. Got the Rifle continuing to advance here against the Fultz. Got the 223 moving up here. Engaging the armor cannon and gaining Vetni 2 there. Nice set of bonuses there for the 223. Got the ambulance almost done there for LSK. Panzerschreck flying off there. Providing valuable healing for his men. Southern point seized by the Volksgrenadiere. Sturm Pioneer base in the center there. And setting about destroying the sandbags with a Panzerschreck. 20 here, this is the Panzerschreck Sturm Pioneer. They shoot and they miss. Ambulance there ready for LSK. And a Flak halftrack for the Stuve, the 251-17. South of Bedminton moving about here for LSK, gonna hunt down those Volksgrenadiers. I'm guessing it's going to have to be a steward here, because otherwise it's going to be a very hard time versus the Flak half-track, that's for sure. I mean, he could also go for the Captain and anti-tank guns. Not impossible here, of course. We'll have to see what he actually does here. All the way, Flak half-track soon ready. Very soon ready. Not, I find, too common a component and elite armor build. They'll typically just go for that 2-2-1, 2-2-3, and then use that to like try and push for faster schwerer Padded Quarters, medium armor, and of course Obersoldaten. But some of the way Stuve's gone about this build, it does look like he's in no rush to get out Obersoldaten or any medium armor. Flak half-track out here. One of many Flak half-tracks that the German army operated. They mount basically flak guns on most of the half-tracks and even trucks, but they get away with it. Or blitzers with them. They even had, I think in North Africa, some cars with 2cm flak guns mounted on them. Fun fact. Ralph charging in there, and we got Rangers here for Leon Scott Kennedy, aka LSK, and so there we go, straight into the Quad Thompson upgrade, gives them a significant firepower boost there, obviously. Sandbags here. Not a lot of mines though from LSK, it's worth noting here, despite having access to that via the rifle and defensive structures. It's not just sandbags, but your rifle can lay down mines, which is actually quite potent, but it is one of those abilities not all American players are quite keen on using, but it is, in my opinion, quite good. You also don't see any of the M6 anti-tank mines, which of course in the right place can also be quite nasty. The center of the Flak half-track here, of course, is quickly proven to be a bit of a headache here for LSK. With its 2cm flak cannon there, a Flak 38. Mounted there on the back. North here, fortunately, advancing our Rangers. That's definitely going to be a win there for the Rangers due to just having more submachine guns. And of course, the Thompson in-game being better than the assault rifles. In the actual war, not quite the case. North falls to the rear echelons, Flak after the Rangers, ripping through them. We got a trot on the way there for Stuve, the Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper. Meanwhile, Leon Scott Kennedy is going for the M5E1 Stuart light tank. So, things heating up here on several axes. North here, Flak half-track, slowly approaching Veterans 1, but except having a slow pace here. Lieutenant falls with the bazooka here, which is also, for the time being, Leon Scott Kennedy's only way of dealing with a Flak half-track is a bazooka. And it missed. God damn it, Carl. I told you to hit. Sorry, sir. 20 moving up here. 3 kills. Veterans, you won. Sneaking a few shots with his 50 cal. Stuart light tank almost done. Got mines here. Die Schützenmine 42. North here is advancing. The Schützenmine, besides being an anti-infantry mine, was also interesting because, well, you know, it was designed to be very difficult to detect, as it was actually mostly made out of wood and other such materials that made it very, very difficult for mines to pick up on it. So, little fun fact there about the Schützenmine. Little fun fact there. Large goes the Sturmpionier, Stuart forwards, straight into the mine there, losing several men. Half-track there, veteran, or armored car veteran, thief, half-track is not even close to that. Arcade there for the Stuve, Stuve moving in here, of course. Fitting the Stuve, do have the Schwerpunkt up here, not authorized yet. But Leon Scott Kennedy's got a fair amount of light vehicle to match Stuve's light vehicle force here. Of course, slight difference in quality in some respects here. Still, with the Stuart and the M20 out there, Stuve is forced to play a bit more carefully, can't easily threaten the Stuart for now. So that does give Leon Scott Kennedy more control of the battlefield, of course, where to lay down mines, that'd be even better. Another interesting element about the Schützenmine is the fact it was actually designed to maim rather than kill. Because the Germans sort of kind of figured out it's actually better to maim someone than to kill someone. It has a much greater effect on a lot of levels if you just, you know, blow someone's feet off and they suffer horribly than just actually straight up kill them. Gruesome logic, but, you know, that's the sort of logic you get with, you know, increasingly modernized warfare. Flak after having forwards here. Lieutenant needs to get out of there before he gets utterly murdered here by the Flak half-track. Backhead reinforcing, healing, more or less good to go for Leon Scott Kennedy. In the south here we got the rifle squad busy there as well. Still no mines from him, in fact he's got a lot of munitions. We're not even seeing weapon racks or... Never mind, I spoke to assume we do actually get the weapon racks on up. Thumbs up to that. Some BARs, the Browning automatic rifle. We're rolling forwards here. Flak half taking forwards here. Decent shot there from the Stuart on the Flak half. The Chemicals returns a bigger hit on the Stuart. In the south here, small push here. Ralph Scott being surrounded by 2 Volkskriegskorps squads need to retreat there before they get utterly annihilated here by Stuve's Infantry. And Leon Scott Kennedy very wisely pulls his men out of there before, you know, losing them entirely. He then is quite close. M20 rushing in, he can of course deploy smoke as well here using the smoke pots ability. In this case, it's not necessary. It would just effectively be a waste of munitions, but say, you know, had there been more troops, had it been a bit closer, popping the M2 smoke pots there would have been a very smart decision. So, little note there. 2 to 3 here, close to FT4, also close to an anti-tank rifle grenade. And also not too far away from the Regal anti-tank mines, which most players, similar to the M6 anti-tank mine, never use. Both, though, are actually surprisingly good when you think about it. Like, being able to immobilize any tank can be quite powerful in the right circumstances. Rangers moving forward here for Leon Scott Kennedy. Captain here from as well. Interesting enough, we're not seeing the Major. I'm guessing seeing the Schwerpunkt and some other factors here has caused him to figure out he wants anti-tank guns out here before trying to push for tanks. Interesting decision there by LSK versus Stuve. Flak half-tech meal ripping through his infantry. Veterans won their game, 3 kills. You can see there's men infantry has now been significantly upgraded with firepower there. Now a much bigger threat there to Stuve's Volksgrenadiere with their Sturmgewehrs. And we do like to get some more as well here pushing Stuve up into a 6-squad infantry composition to match, well, his opponent with a 6-squad infantry composition. So quite a bit of infantry in the field when you think about it. Quite a bit of infantry. Again, that's something that's sort of been more happening only, I think, recently in Companies 2, sort of metagame history. But for quite some time, people actually been fairly low on infantry, like typically 3, maybe 4. But now we're seeing more 5 and 6 builds, actually, which is interesting. Also makes a lot more sense when you think about it, but that's another story. Wait, Captain 40 can be equipped with the BAR. And of course, I'm guessing he's going to go for anti-tank gun soon. Stuve schwerer Panzerquarters not authorized yet, though, so from Leon Scott Kennedy, of course, he's not quite aware of that, but he's probably again going for that because he's assuming he's going to be hit by a Panzer soon, and he doesn't have any anti-tank guns ready for that. It's going to get very, very uncomfortable. I mean, it also is going to help us with the 223, which is now actually fun laid on Regal Mines, and the Flak half-track, though. I doubt Leon Scott Kennedy is expecting Regal Mines from Stuva because, again, most German players never bother with the damn things. I can pretty much count on like one hand the players I've ever seen use them, and so far the only one I can actually remember is me. And like, I think Angreif might have used them a bit there, but primarily the only one to try use them consistently is, yeah, me. So go figure. Go figure. And one entertain that for LSK, and of course I'm not saying others are using, it's just, you know, from all the people I've seen. Sure, others are using them. But again, they're just very small elite there, if you will. Flux moving forward here for Stuve. 2 to 3, of course, still moving towards Veteran 5. At this point, of course, Stuve could set up the fuel point to give himself a lot more fuel for like some more armor here versus Leon Scott Kennedy. I mean, I'd say at this point, I think that'd be a pretty good idea for Stuve to do. But it clearly favors using it more actually against LSK's infantry. I mean, that's obviously not a bad idea either. It is quite good in the anti-infantry role. No mistake, but I mean, increasing his fuel income from 26 to 33, for example, right now would be very good for Stuve, and would certainly accelerate his armor, you know, movements. As for LSK, we do have one anti-tank gun out. No, could go for the major. Could be going for a second anti-tank gun here. Hard to say, though. He does go for a second anti-tank gun now. Pardon me, would suspect he might actually plan to stall here for the Persian. I know we do get the major. A major move. Thumbs up to that. Launching a large infantry scale assault here in the south. The LSK moving in with the Rangers, the Lieutenant, and the Rifle Squad here. Quite a bit of firepower to take on Stuva, whose southern lines are quite weak. And so, well, without a machine gun or anything like that, really cannot withstand such an assault. And the only real decision Stuva can take is just retreat or risk wipes. So that does mean the entire southern part of the map has effectively fallen here to Leon Scott Kennedy. Stuva could counterattack, could try and attack elsewhere, but so far he just remains sort of around here waiting. Most likely for some kind of tank here versus LSK and the Americans. As this goes on, I do feel like Stuve's really only choice for this one is A, laying down Regal Mines, and B, sitting on the fuel point to secure himself a lot more fuel. North here, going for that northern victory point to keep it out in the hands of the Americans. Major out there for LSK and the 3rd Armored Division. Sorry about that. Flak half-track achieving Veteran 2, which does provide some rather significant bonuses to it, including damage, making it much more effective versus infantry at Veteran 2. It's one of those units where, like, you know, they're sort of so-so when you get them, but then once they get Veteran 2, they just go, like, into overdrive. In fact, that's quite the case with several German units like the Wehrmacht Panzer Grenadiers, the Stormtroopers, like, you know, they're so kind of good, but like once they hit Veteran 2, they just, you know, turn into something straight out of the propaganda posters. Not propaganda posters, but like, you know, something actual performance. Okay, now so the Panzer straight, I'll do it there. M20 rushing, and it's still good if you use it here. Of course, a late LSK with the Stuart could also consider laying down some mines with it. I mean, say, you know, Stuva goes for a Panther or anything like that, he gets mobilized. That's going to be a real feels scheisse moment here for Stuva. So far, nothing like that. No sign of Panther Force. Could be a Panther here for Stuve. And the 2nd Panzer Division. Ralph's Court Rangers charging in here. Captain Morov following up a big infantry push again up north here from LSK versus Stuva. This time, though, he does have Flak half-track ready to put an end to such an olive green all-American assault here. Stuve racing in and going to try and take out the Flak half-track. Perhaps there you go, they blocking such an attempt. He also forced out the premises. The building splintering under withering American fire here and explosives. And the Stuart light tank finally gets knocked out. Great kill here, but the Flak half-track also goes down. Both heavy loss. Oh, and the orbital down goes down. This is an absolutely caustic loss here for Stuve. Really intense here. Lost a key, several pivotal units here for his defense and crew. She also had a machine gun there to the Americans. That's really going to put some pressure there on Stuve. He's going for the Panther now. Going to be useful as the Armour. LSK going for the Jackson Barway, though less so as infantry. So that's going to be a bit of a hell of a challenge here for Stuve to deal with. This Panther is slotted around here. The Panzerkampfwagen 5 Ausführung A. Or the Model A, which was the 2nd overall model of Panthers, starting with the D, then the E, and then came the G model of Panther. There was also a theoretical Model F, which was supposed to have a improved turret, amongst other things, and there are even some indications of some kind of like very primitive sort of speed loader or autoloader, if you will. I could really only hold like 3 shots, but would have technically made it a bit easier to get off a few more shots faster there. So, little fun fact on that one as well. But ultimately, a lot of that was highly, you know, still in testing and stuff like that, and they did a really slow service. Some of the holes did with Model G turrets on them, but that's it. Rangers are charging in near 22 kills, virtually free again. Then Thompson's just absolutely ripped through the German troops here. And equipped with a BAR as well, further increasing their firepower. North here falls right in the face of Raft. Got Captain as well here. Lieutenant in trouble with the M20 there. Close to virtually free on that one. In the far south here, grabbing the point here, we got the Panther Wing Force here. Heat shields loaded up as well there. Right into the Jackson's line of fire though. Shoots and misses. Lucky for Leon Scott Kennedy, less so for Stuva's Panther. North we came in trouble, got another infantry assault here. Ace level armored car still at it. Again, I feel like there's an increasing, you know, argument for Stuva should just pop it up on the field point and just, you know, move towards more tanks faster. Like, so even get out a bunch of Panthers faster, a bunch of Panther Force. I think that'd give LSK a real problem on his hands. But oh well. Panther is fixed up again here though for Stuve, adding the penal amount of MG42. Panther heading southwards. Max up north. Jackson sitting out. M20 they're rolling out as well. They're very, very close to the east limb on that one. 2 to 3 fixed up. There we go, ace level. Yeah, not much in terms of mines, I think, there from LSK, or for that matter from Stuve. Like, I think, in fact, neither player has really laid down, like, a lot of mines are going to be that. Like, I think there was that mine here from Stuve, and that might have really been it. Bazooka Fire and the Panther pushes through there. The Armour in the center. Jackson being backed up by Majors, Captains, Rangers. Definitely a bit of a headache here for Stuve. Going for more orbital, I mean, that's a pretty solid strategy, of course, to go for. Concerning the current circumstance, I would certainly recommend more of those, though the stage Panther Force could also soon be a very good way to get here. And this is in the south here, there's the Volksgrenadiere. Panther back to being in need of repairs here. Cameras the Volksgrenadiere in the south. Captain down to 2 men. Jackson running out. North heading for the northern victory point again. We got 330 versus 189. Stuve maintains a small lead over LSK in terms of victory points, but only small. Also going here for the Jackson in the south here, pushing it back with a few well-placed shots. 2 to 3 just sitting back here for Stuve. 20 racing in, 15 kills. I mean, at this point, one thing, of course, LSK could consider versus Stuve would be to actually pop out the crew of the utility car and switch it out with, say, a Jackson tank destroyer here, giving the Jackson, of course, a bit of a boost of efficiency, which could give Stuve here a bit of a headache. But it would appear LSK has no interest in that, which is fair enough, but I do think it's something you should consider. Armour car, they almost knocked out again. Really close call there for Stuve. And the second Panzer Division. Fresh Oberson here, clashing with Infantry here. Panther providing some amount of fire support there with its high velocity 75mm cannon. What's better with the rifle squads? Now the Jackson FLSK. He's clearly concerned about the Panther. Maybe also concerned about other stuff to follow up on the Panther here. No attempt here going for a Pershing here, and Panther's diving hard in here, looking to crush some infantry. And there you go, almost crushes the entire unit brutally. They're not going to show you that in the Hollywood movies.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Troops sitting out here. Panther, of course, needing some light repairs again. The double Jackson will be a hell of a problem for the Panther, in particular, say, you know, gets veterans 1 and then the HVAC rounds. That could very quickly light the Panther ablaze here. But what is Stuve going to go for next? Will it be more Yak? Will it be Yak Panthers? Will it be more Panthers? Will it try and go for King Tiger? Send a few options here for Stuve to choose from against LSK. But he definitely needs to fix up that Panther. Up north, Orbison filters the Ranger squad here. A silver charging, and there you go. We got a cooked frag grenade there. Orbison pulling out of that one. Got the M20 moving up. He backed up by a throng of infantry forces backing off here. Panther almost fixed up. Well, actually, not almost. It's time to get fixed up in the first place. This scrap there's almost fixed up. It's a bit ambitious. Then he was the folks in the south, the medium moving up. They were sort of just absolutely stood no chance getting that many barred up riflemen, in particular close ranges. Panther 4 Moldier for Stuve. I was down to one who's actually going to go for another Panther here versus LSK, but I mean, again, he's got a lot of infantry, and Stuve does need something that will really take on that infantry. And the Falcons are definitely struggling a bit with these barred up riflemen. Wow, did the Panther just kill one of his own there? Yes, it did. In fact, this is a really bad loss for Stuve, since, you know, not was just an infantry squad, it was the only one that could repair his Panther. Excellent kill there for LSK. Might see another wipe here. Definitely not great for Stuve's. Panther was almost done. The 2 to 3 sits on the fuel point there, but isn't doing anything about it. We got a BAR left behind here. Orbison could grab that, turn against the Americans. So not be a bad idea there for Stuve's Orbison done. South Jackson's here with their infantry support. Sandbags being prepared. And we got the Major picking up the Panzerschreck, giving him a bit more firepower. And that's definitely rough there for Stuve. Panther 4 Moldier out there, though. Die Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung. Jut! Jackson link back. Put Rascal in the center. Up north, the M20 push back with the Panther. 2 to 3 moving up as well. Entertaining there, slowly wrecking the sandbags of the riflemen. I don't think the riflemen are appreciating that one. Hey, watch it where you're shooting. Sorry. First day on the job. 20 moving forward here. 2 to 3 moving in there. There we go. A Kedden Alpha Panther combo. Whacks the M20 there. Panther, of course, still need repairs, but Stuve is a bit short on the manpower for the replacements. He could go for mechanized repair regiment, I suppose. Oh dear, those orbs I need to get out of there. Oh, they're gonna get wiped, aren't they? Yup, that's the second orbital squad wiped at least this time. Oh no! Okay, they just dropped the BAR, I guess. Oh, no, apparently they also dropped the MG34 and the bar. Wow. That's just awkward, isn't it? Like, that is 2 Orbison squads, and both of them drop the MU-34, but also in this case, they drop the BAR they're carrying too. Clearly someone's got Bernhardt Butterfingers in their squad, don't they? Jackson rushing against the Panther. Yeah, it was definitely also just like, there was no reason for this Orbison to get wiped there. I'm not entirely sure what Stuve was thinking he would achieve with that squad there. Oh well, it's a loss. South here, Panther forming up, supporting some infantry, but I mean, he's lost a Sturmpion, he's lost a lot of Orbison, and he's starting to repair his tanks. I mean, things are definitely slowly turning against Stuve, and if Leon Scott Kennedy now goes for Pershing, that could very well be a real kick to Stuve's soft regions. He's finally going for some Sturmpion, at least thumbs up to that, though there's still a lot of work to be done here for Stuve. Infantry matching forward to Jackson of the roaming here. Panther wing attack, Panther flanking the Jackson. There we go. Heat shields loaded up here for a bit of extra damage and penetration. Not that he needs more penetration against the Jackson tank destroyer, but the damage never hurts. That said, the Panther is just too heavily damaged to really provide, like, to really stick around, because again, the Jacksons are going to punch through the armor fairly consistently, and then Stuve is going to be short. Panther up north here, just push back there. Panther wing against Jackson, trying to flank it. Got lucky there, but the question is, how much more luck does Stuve have for that Panther? Panther's needing a few hits to try and take out the Jackson, but no. Can't get quite close enough here, and the Jackson does escape. So now Stuve has 2 tanks in dining repairs. As for LSK, he's not too far away from a Pershing. Fuel-wise, he's very close. Manpower-wise, it's a bit of a longer story. I mean, technically, Stuve could go for, like, another Panther, I suppose. Or Yak Panther here versus LSK. He could also go for another Panther 4. There are some options here for Stuve. These 2 to 3, by the way, still alive as well there. Fixing up the Panther. And 1 anti-tank and holding up here. Jackson being fixed up. Rangers on the move there. 31 kills. They've definitely done some great work there for Leon Scott Kennedy. Got photos of the Rangers, but again, East level Rangers there with Thompsons and a captured German MG-34. It's not exactly a great prognosis for the Falconers' continued welfare. In this case, though, a lot more German troops nearby do prove to be helpful here, but in the end, the Rangers still push off the first squad. That set, the second one there should be able to push off the LSK's Rangers. Panther fixed up. Almost. Fresh assault up north here. The full 3 rifle squads here from LSK. Cannon being hauled in. We got the Jacksons for so alongside the anti-tank gun. There you go. Fresh assault here from the Americans against Northern Victory Point here. Panther being hauled sent off to the front line again. A half HP 2 rifle squad here, taking a lot of damage for the Brandhand Granat and the Sturmgewehr. Jackson's hanging back, probably waiting for the Panther to reveal itself. And Stuve clearly obliging LSK, but just sending it straight ahead here, line to line of the Jacksons, to immediately tear off a significant chunk of its health there. Down to half health already. That just was like, you know, a lot of time it took for Stuve to fix the Panther, and then not too long to just, you know, get it quickly damaged. So, not looking great there for Stuve. We'll have to see what it goes for next. Will we have Panther? Will we have Panther 4? Will be a Yak Panther? But he definitely needs something more. Panther 4 is good to go. But he's going to need to fix up the Panther again at this stage. I would probably recommend using the emergency repair 6, but the repairs this time around. Can't go for another Panther 4 here, but again, he could be tempted to go for another Panther here versus LSK and the Americans, as Panther's about to get knocked out there. Panther going into Veterans 1 there. Heat shields loaded up, Flux is charging in there. Got the anti-tank crew there. Excellent kill here for Stuve. In the south, we've got an attempt to grab the southern point. We've got a captain that dug in there with BARs. Rangers there as the Fulton, the grenades are going off. The Fulton taking heavy losses. I mean, they did push back the Rangers, but they themselves got absolutely brutalized in the process. Stuva there could go for he goes for another Sturm Pioneer Squad for his armor fast. I mean, that honestly does make sense. I was starting to expect a Panther number 2 here, and another Jacksonville LSK. Okay, I mean, he was like not far away from a Pershing, honestly, so. I mean, just going for more Jacksons obviously is going to work against what Stuva's got going, so, I mean, I don't blame him. I do not blame him for considering, like, just, you know, more Jacksons, honestly. You can see the cap being used for Silvice that are faster. Thumbs up to LSK there. Very nice to see that being used.
Tank destroyer is ready for action.
170 to 269. Fresh attack in the south here. Lone squad sending against the Fulton. They need to pull them back. A rifle squad with the 2 Fulton Grenadiers met with a vicious fusillade. They are forced back here. Second Sturm Pioneer squad ready. That should definitely expedite Stuva's ability to repair his tanks significantly, so thumbs up to that at least. Sadly though, Stuva is just unable to make like any long-term gains on those victory points for now. LSK is proving to be quite the tough opponent to keep, you know, off the victory points. He's got like 3 Jacksons. It's quite rare to see 3 Jacksons though. But I think it also highlights his confidence in an infantry. He can just like, you know, keep them murdering Stuva's troops. He just needs the Jacksons to absolutely, you know, practically delete Stuva's tanks. Go, penetrating hit. Close races. Still no heat shells here from him. Could even like just pop combined arms, I think, with a bit of infantry in the Jackson. They could pretty much just delete Stuva's Panther here, for example. So far, he's just not being used. We do have the 32 on Stuva's Panther. Heat shells popped here. Panther moving up and getting the Rangers. Jackson shoots, completely misses the mark there. 32 gain on the Jackson there. Panther shoots, misses. Panther further being pushed back in the south and attempt to push forward. He's already being thwarted here by the Alliance infantry. But then dealing with the advancing Jackson. Panther moving up, Panther moving in as well. He could see Jackson down perhaps. No, Panther instead. Oh, he does get a Jackson, but it comes at the cost of the Panther. The problem is between Stuve and LSK, who can more easily just afford one of those kinds of losses. Part of me have considered the Jackson is not that much more expensive than the Panther 4 Model J. So it's a bit of a rough one there for Stuve, who's like already kind of outgunned. We got 108 versus 269 here. Jackson being fixed up. Panther moving 4 bouts. Heat shells popped again. Got one of the Jacksons there. There you go, we got a lot of sources. They wasn't able to finish off the Jackson set. The Panther taking an immense amount of damage here. A few shots bounces off here. Can fix it up again here in the south. Another counter attack with the Americans. Completely sends Stuva's infantry packing there. Guessing it's another Panther here from Stuva or a Sturmtiger. But he's going to risk the Panther here though. Straight into the Panzerschreck Bazooka Major there. Meanwhile, swing up the troops in from the southern point towards the center. The folks are there about to get absolutely slapped out of existence if they do not retreat now. And there you go, Stuva does commit to a second Panther. Needs his first Panther fix up, but do get some emergency repairs here. I think getting the Sturm Pioneers to assist for that is going to be even more effective. Folks are going to give us the Rangers 47 kills. I mean, it only shows you what a well-handled Ranger squad can do. Obviously didn't hurt they got the German machine gun, but you know. Even without that, I'm fairly certain they had a pretty good kill tally here versus poor Stuva's men. So there you go. First Panther is almost fixed up again.
Germans down to 75 points.
73 points left. Second Panther is right around the corner for Stuva. 2 to 3, they're taking some nasty hits from the M1 tank gun. Surviving the Jackson's hit as well there. Though only very narrowly. Rushing with the Panther to try and crush the infantry, but risky. Does some focus on this case being exposed on the rear to the Jackson, which of course further negates any armor Panther might have. And there goes Stumpy, almost got up with the captain here. Second Panther is arriving. Double Jackson, then they're popping both HVAC rounds here versus Stuve's Panther. Pretty much like, you know, forcing Stuve to immediately withdraw it because, oh, it's going to get destroyed in short order. Panther plus 1 Jackson, second Panther coming up here. Gauging Rival Squad, T-Gram pushing on the northern point. We got 37 here, 34 with 269 here. The odds for Stuve are looking pretty grim here. Panther moving forwards. Rival Squad's Lieutenant here. Panther falling back. Unit's about to get absolutely melted out of existence here. Deleted, in fact. 49 here. Kills on the Rangers. Also the Lieutenant in the center. Rival Squad checking as well here. Got the Northern Victor. Got 19 versus turn 69 here. A hell of a gap between the two sides. Panther doing what he can here. Very close to 53. Jackson still being repaired. We got rather moving forward. See, could go for the Pershing soon if it ever gets that far. Panther number 2 almost about to get knocked out here. First one pops heat shells again, but it won't help against the Panther or the Jackson. Just shoot it from a nice safe distance. Panther gaining 83. Thumbs up here. Just very late here for Stuva, and I just don't think it's going to help much. Oh, narrowly dodges a shot there. Got 17 versus 269 here. Pulling back both Panthers. Well, after the court was the Fulton's got 15 points left. 14. The Stu's got 2 heavily damaged Panthers that are in bad need of repairs. And he's only got like a very little amount of time to get them fixed up in before he loses the match. Talk about being under pressure. That's the Sturmpune here, so... Got 1 Panther thing fixed up. There you go, another unit wiped here. 9 points. Once that southern point falls, which it does in a few seconds, it's going to mean even more pressure on Stuve. I think this is GG here for Stuve. You can see that the Panther's being rushed out. Nowhere near repaired, but like, you know... I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's going to lose no matter what. There you go. GG. Game over. Loss here for Stuve. Victory for LSK. Fierce back and forth fight. He was meant to move from Stuve, but in the end he just wasn't quite able to pull through there. I think he could have used that 2-3 in some regards more efficiently by setting up the fuel point or munitions point. So mines in there could also have been quite helpful for Stuve. You know, say one of those Jacks been caught in a Regal mine, that could have been quite disastrous for LSK, for example. So some things there to consider. Plus, you know, some of those orbitals could also have been preserved, you know, not wiped. So either way, I hope you enjoyed this match and learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial saying cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope you'll come again for another episode. Bye.